Good day to you wherever you're watching OGTV across the board. I welcome you to your darling program, Peace and Conflict Resolution. Today we shall be looking at consequences of drug abuse and human trafficking. And with me in the studio today, I have Comrade Kunle Shodipo. Yes, let me welcome Comrade Kunle Shodipo to the program on the show. Welcome to the board.
Thank you very much. I am delighted, absolutely delighted to be here on a peaceful program.
Yes,
of course, peace and conflict resolution. It's hearing it alone, means a lot.
Exactly.
Because without peace, without conflict resolution, we can't have a peaceful society.
Very well.
So I am delighted to be here.
Thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Yes, we'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll dig deeper on the program. Thank you for being there. Welcome back to the show. In case you're just joining us, I have in the studio Comrade Kunle Shodipo, MNIMN-SCP-ANIPR. Comrade Kunle Shodipo, in case you're just meeting him for the first time, is a strategic communication expert, public affairs analyst, a passionate and personality who is very passionate about child safety and peaceful coexistence in our society, a licensed marketer and public relation practitioner, leveraging his expertise to drive strategic communication and brand growth. Let me tell you once again, he's a senior special assistant on media and publicity to the National Chairman, Police Community Relation Committee, PCRC. Comrade Kunle Shodipo, let me welcome you once again.
Thank you very much. I want to say a word on to the producers of this program, to OGTV, and to those who are watching at home, because they are, giving us their time to be a part of something meaningful. Yeah. And so once again, I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you. Yes, Comrade Kunle, it is no longer a news that our society is battling with drug abuse. The NDLEA celebrated their day, and it's actually International Day against drug abuse and human trafficking. A society where drug abuse has taken over is never a safe society.
Yeah.
And doing this, it will tell on our children, our family, and the society. And when we talk about drug, are we talking about paracetamol, overdose, and what are we talking about for the benefit of our viewers?
Yes. For a layman, in a layman's definition, let's just say drug abuse is, using any substance or it can even be a prescribed one beyond the prescription. There is a dose that you are supposed to take. And if you take it beyond that particular dose that you have been in excess, then you are abusing the drug. So you can even abuse paracetamol. You can abuse Panadol. So that is what drug abuse is ordinarily. So now we have different categories of drugs now. So then we have the normal patent medicines, that we all know, that I mentioned paracetamol, that I mentioned Panadol. Then we now have the hard drugs. So I think when we talk drug abuse, in most cases, people's mind goes to that area, not knowing that even those ones that you see at home, you can abuse them. It's not all the time that you have a headache, that you just go and take something and use. You need to consult a physician. You need to go for checkup to know whether it is that drug that you really need or not. Maybe it's just ordinary rest that you need. You don't just take anything. So that is what drug abuse is all about. Using something beyond the normal measurement, it's an abuse.
Okay. Yes, Comrade Shodipo. Let's come to illicit drug this time.
Yeah.
Do you think our society can get rid of this? because the way at which the youths, the younger ones are engaging themselves in different, when you hear the names of those drugs, and you'll be wondering, how do they come across these drugs?
Yeah.
And when you see them, a boy, an innocent boy that you see today, after a while, you see him because of the peer group anyway, and you see that this boy has changed. Something has changed about this guy. And where are we? And why do we find ourselves in this situation?
Well, thank you very much. I'm happy that you started from the angle that where did we get it wrong?
Exactly.
And because of course, for every problem there is always a foundation. And I am not part of those who will come on any program or any public space to come and be talking about a solution when we have not looked at where the problem emanated from. The fact remains that even the rich, the poor, nobody is left untouched when we talk about this menace. You look around now, you see children of the poor man, a child of a poor man, displaying madness because of peer pressure. He's been to school and he's been influenced. He's taking some high-level marijuana, some highs, they call it Colorado, sort of different mixtures. You understand? Even I heard of a case of a boy who happened to come from a very morally strong home, and the parents very comfortable financially. They sent him to school. They went through all the trainings at home. They were there for him, and they got the shock of their life. He came home recently, and they discovered that he's been addicted with what they call highs. He started misbehaving. And it was at that point, they never even thought of it. It was at that point somebody said they should go and check his room, and they met all sort of, traces of this hard substance. And they got the shock of their life. Now, the problem is that nobody will access any commodity or any product without somebody bringing it in.
Exactly.
Without some people making it available. Now, so I've been saying that, yes, we have been saying, we are campaigning that youth should avoid drugs, you should avoid this, but I've been asking questions that...
Before you go there,
yeah,
somebody asked a question, while we are having this conversation, and he said, substance abuse is associated with both violent and income-generating crimes by youths.
Thank you. That you sometimes violence means youths wants to feel high. They want to express themselves. They want to show that they have. They want to display hooliganism, to display gangsterism.
Energy that should be channeled
to something positive.
Better.
They just and unfortunately, because for me, you don't need drugs to even go crazy sometimes.
Exactly.
Naturally, with some of naturally, I think they are pure.
Yes.
If you want to show somebody that you've got some,
yes.
You understand, you can display it. So somebody telling me I need that to do
and
that,
you'll be able to control it.
And so an income generates. Some people are behind this thing. Is business venture to some people. And these people are very powerful people. And until we are able to crack down on those people, we will just be playing. I've said it severally in so many places that until we check how do we get these drugs to this, how do these youth or these children get these drugs? Some people are, and of course you mentioned NDLEA. NDLEA has been doing their job, and I always commend them. I work closely with them. Fantastic set of people. But one thing I will tell you is that until we have institutional independence in Nigeria, we'll just be, you just be telling me NDLEA, what are we doing? Police, what are they doing? Of course, what would they do if they arrest somebody and somebody from somewhere up is calling for that person? Would that person says is more powerful than the person calling? When you look at the settings, when most of our institutions are not really independent, they are under the control of one oga or somebody there. So until we have institutions that are very strong, that are vibrant, that have laws establishing them on their own, when you cannot just hire and fire anybody anyhow, until then this institution will begin to work. They are ready to work, they are experts, they are professionals. They go outside Nigeria and they perform wonders. Because when they are outside Nigeria, they are in environments where it is conducive for them to work professionally.
Can tell them how leave that.
And you understand? So I would say that if we really want to address the menace of drug abuse in Nigeria, we have got to start from the scratch. We have got to be serious about it. In the first place, do we have the political will? That is my question. Is the political will, is it there? If the political will is not there, we'll just be speaking grammar, blowing grammar, and just trying to spend some money on some campaigns and all that.
Everything will remain
Everything will you just be wondering that upon all the campaigns, upon all the talks and grammars, these things are still happening, and we'll get pissed off. So that's, for me, we need to just ask questions on these areas, political will, and the fact that our institution, of course, if there is political will, then those institutions will get the necessary independence to do their job, and will not be saying that we don't have experts who can handle it. Of course, we have them. Then again, parents has their own roles to play. You understand? Because charity, they say, begins at home. Of course, even in the midst of all that is happening, there are still some children that no matter how you force them, they can't engage in it because of the closeness they have, the bond they share with their parent, their father, their mother, and how they have been able to see through life. So I watched a clip this morning where somebody was calling on fathers to get closer to their girl child. You understand? According to her, there is this thing that emits positivity between a father and his girl child, and I tend to agree with that recording. That as a man, there is a huge role you need to play. Why do male engage in so many things? We do so many things to impress the female folks. So if fathers can be responsible, we can have more responsible fathers in Nigeria, meaning that we'll be able to raise more responsible female in Nigeria. And then the male will now wake up to the fact that they don't have to engage in negative vibes to impress the females. But if we have a lot of girls that are impressed by negative vibes, then we'll have more guys going into negative vibes because they want to impress the female folks. So I'm challenging fathers. There is this special skills that God has given us. Let us take the challenge from home. Then from home we get to the community, and the community is spread. So we need to go back to the drawing board and talk to ourselves from our homes.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Kunle Sodipo. We'll go on a very short break now, and we'll come back. Viewers, please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back to the show. It's still your program. In case you're just joining us, we are discussing the consequences of drug abuse and human trafficking in our society. And you will agree with us that this program is about peaceful coexistence. And wherever we're talking about peaceful coexistence, and the drug abuse is the order of the day, you know that the peace will not be as usual, and we are trying to guide against such, and we are trying to see how we can bring that to zero level. Your child, my child, are involved, and they might not be in the involvement of this drug abuse, but they are not safe in the society where drug abuse is the order of the day. Yes, I still have in the house Comrade Kunle Sodipo, who is doing justice to the program. Comrade, we do attribute this issue of cultism, gangsterism, and all these activities of kidnapping and to drug abuse. Do they have any influence to that effect?
Yes, of course. Where part of the negative effect of drug abuse is that when you have a society where people there are prone to it, you see a lot of crimes being committed in that area. A lot of people are psychologically, derailed, and that makes them to be prone to illegal activities. And of course, we are talking about illegal activities. We are talking about this you have mentioned, cultism, woman trafficking,
Yes.
you know, kidnapping, armed robbery,
Yes.
rape,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and all sort of very shameful and highly condemnable acts by a generation that are supposed to be, working and preparing themselves to salvage a nation that needs people to, to salvage it. You are in a community and in a society, and you observe that by the time you are coming home, somebody is smoking banner here, and you are coming home, and you need to wake up, because before you know it, if the community don't quickly come together and address it, it becomes predominant. Then you find out that most of the children there, the innocent ones, will be, attracted into it. And because whatever the younger one sees their superiors doing, to them, that is the right way to go. Until they see people who can teach them and tell them, no, that is not the way to go. So for now, I'm talking about peer influence now. Peer influence, and there is no way we can rule it out, because definitely as children will go to school,
Certainly.
they'll go to church, they'll go to religious places, they go to mosque, they go to traditional worship centers, and at this point when they will meet like minds. And so we really have a lot of work to do. I said it before, as parent, as community, then as a society, as government, as organizations. We need to, part of it is what you are doing. This program is more or less a tool for redemption. That I'll put it that way, a tool for remedy. To somebody is watching now and will be learning one or two things and see how they can. So I think we should start catching them young. Those who are engaging in it already need rehabilitations. Of course, they can still be salvaged if the parents or the affected society or community can quickly make necessary moves through the NDLEA. We have psychiatric hospitals, we have rehabilitation centers here and there, and programs like this can help, to link them up on how to rehabilitate them. Then I think we should, I've said it, I proposed it, that teachings on drug, avoidance of illicit drugs should be added to our curriculum. These things should be taught in school. I've said it, that our educational system needs to be overhauled, because if you don't, bring up these things at tender age, let them start knowing the negative and the positive effect of these things at a tender age. I learned there is a country that some of these things from their kindergarten are being taught, and not only this, so many other things that get the children engaged. Technology and so many things are being brought into their curriculum from the tender age. But here, what we have in our curriculum are just religious, whatever. I'm not condemning religious, but we tend to hammer so much on religious teachings than, morals and so many other issues. Yes, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, but God has said it that we also has work to do. That we are, as a people, as a nation, we have work to do.
God cannot be doing it.
God can't do it for us. And part of the work we are supposed to do is to know the kind of, what are we? Who are we? What do we stand for? I think that is the first thing. What do we stand for? Are we sincere with what we are aiming at as a nation or as a people? If, of course, we know what we are aiming at and what we stand for, then we should be able to sit down and plan all these things and help our children. Because as things stands now, most of the current generation are lost. We are lost in the wilderness, and we need somebody to come and save us.
Thank you, Barrister. Sorry. Maybe you are working. Thank you, CSK. And let me bring this to you. You see this issue of human trafficking and this drug abuse that we are talking about. This human trafficking saga of a thing, would you attribute poverty to the cause of it?
Yes, I will attribute poverty, because when people, you look at in our present day society, especially in Nigeria, in Africa, people are doing many things to make money. People are ready to do anything.
And it's so sad.
And it's so sad. In fact, people have lost their conscience all because they want to make money. Imagine somebody selling his or her own child.
Honestly.
You know, because he thinks he or she wants to raise money.
And how much is the money?
How much is the money? You hear sold a child 50,000. You know, ridiculous figure. Even if it's 10 million, it's not even worth it.
Doesn't worth it.
It's poverty level in this part of the world. It plays a lot of it plays key role in this negative development. And we are supposed to be the wealth capital of the world because we've got everything that we need. I watched a documentary just of recent, and somebody was reminding us that before oil was discovered, you know, the Yorubas were millionaires. They were making money. They were doing really fine. That even before oil was discovered,
yes.
You know, in years before. So these are things that, and what were they doing? They were farming. They were farming. Industrialists buying and selling. They are into the exports. Cocoa, timber, rubber, different. But oil came, and all of a sudden, there's this thing that came with it, and our fortune now begin to turn. And so we need to, as a matter of fact, conquer poverty if indeed we want to get rid of some of these things, because poverty turns people into what they are not. You know, a poor man, it's when a poor man becomes a desperate man because he's looking for a means to survive. But that still does not mean we should lose our conscience. That does not mean we should lose our conscience.
Okay. Thank you very much, CSK. I want to appreciate you, but nevertheless, I observe our society as a society where everything goes, and you discover that Ashemalu, you know, or the untouchables are too much, and we cannot. I want you to address this on your parting shot, because that cannot help this society. Because if there are some people that are untouchable and they are destroying others, where are we going? And government spend a lot of money, you know, trying to put things together, trying to make sure there is peace.
You know, where you have a society where people just do whatever they want to do. And, you know, I watched one of our very top leaders, you know, speaking recently. A lot of people will know this. And he was calling figures, what people have done, and they've gone away with it. Consequences without being checked. So it's something we need to really work on. It's something Nigerians, the country belongs to us. Now, you said my parting shot. Let my parting shot beat that. Nigerians, we are sleeping. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. It is our country. We really need to salvage this country. We need to have a nation whereby people don't just do anything. Impunity needs to be taken away completely from our society. Until we get to that level, when you do something and you get punished for it, then all these things we are talking about will come to an end.
Thank you very much. That has been Comrade Kunle Sodipo doing justice to the topic, consequences of drug abuse and human trafficking in our society. Comrade, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure.
Yes. Till I come your way, this is where we will be drawing the curtain on the show. And between now and next week, please watch out for the next episode. We'll be right back. I am Oba Oluwaseunfunmi Ogunleye. Till I see you next week, next time on the same station. Be peaceful.